Hey everybody, and now I am back with my review for What Else? Rosewood, Season 1, Episode 4, Vandals and Vitamins. So let's go ahead and let's get into it. So for this episode, we start off with this anonymous male, young teenage male, who is defacing one of Rosewood's, not posters, his flyer, billboards, and pretty much, graffiti, he did graffiti on the poster and made Rosewood look like a pirate. So, of course, the cops were chasing him. I don't think they ever found him. So, let's go to the club where we see this fine, beautiful woman getting out of a car. And then she gets escorted into the club by the security. And I believe the club is like a celebrity hotspot club down in Miami or whatever. So then there's this big guy named Steve who walks out and he's like stumbling around for a bit. He's like just sort of discombobulated, really all out over the place. Then all of a sudden, he collapses on the ground and people are screaming and they're just like, oh my god, like his name is Steve Stavros and he's the son of a famous doctor, or no, not a doctor, I think a politician or whatever, congressman, Alex Stavros. And so pretty much he died of a heart attack apparently, and of course a lot of people in the media are thinking that, oh, it was a drug overdose and all this other shit. Anyway, let's fast forward a little bit to over to Rosewood's house where him and not Donna, but his sister Pippi are they're throwing a retirement party for their mother Donna, who retired from being a principal. So she shows up before the guests do, and she pretty much lets them know that I really do not like surprises. I told my colleagues that the party was canceled, and that, I really do not like retirement parties. It is what it is. I, told them that it was canceled because I put two and two together and I realized why nobody was giving me gifts or cards, because they all were coming to this surprise retirement party, and I see no fit to have it. So it is what it is. It is canceled, not on my watch. So anyway, of course, Pippi and Rosewood are just like, damn, like we put so much into this, but she was like, it's too bad. And surprisingly enough, the mother bought a stripper to the party, and he was dressed as a cop, and she told him to, pump on the music and get out of that uniform. And then, she pretty much let them know that, this is my retirement, so it's my rule. So if I want to have a stripper, guess what? I'm going to have a stripper. So, she just pretty much let them know I will be downstairs if you need me, and that is that. So the two of them, Peppy and Rosewood, were talking, and they were just like, well, damn, she pretty much, just shitted on our whole little event that we tried to put together for her. And in the midst of this, the stripper was like taking off his clothes, and then Rosewood was just like, hey. Rosewood was like, no, you can kill all that. Just go home. The party is canceled. Go home. So that was that. Now meanwhile, back at the ME's office, the coroner's office, you have Villa and Captain Hornstock talking over the dead body, and they pretty much are talking about how this case, he died of an overdose, and that is that. And pretty much Hornstock, he really does not want to read into this case any more than he has to, because the young man, the man's father, is a man in a very powerful position, and Hornstock really wants to become, I believe, commissioner, or he wants to get a high rank in the precinct, and so he does not want to, get into this case any further than we have to, and it is what it is. So, he pretty much told Villa to just leave the case alone, and I want no parts of it. That is that. I'm going to, walk away, and you have to either deal with it or get over it. So, it was pretty much just like, damn, damn. Anyway, on a side note, in this episode, we see that now that Donna is retired, she is going into full-fledged, I'm going to be all up in my children's business mode, because she is just all up in a business, and she pretty much, she saw the billboard that was defaced, and she was talking with Rosewood and Pippi, and she was just like, I'm going to find out who did this, who defaced my son's billboard, and it is what it is. And, of course, Rosewood was trying to talk her out of it, but Pippi let him know that, hey, Mom has no job now. She is retired. She has full time to do whatever the hell she wants. It is what it is. So then we have Steve's body being examined by Rosewood and his team, and pretty much, Rosewood was saying that he had liver dysfunction, and that, judging by his heart, he would have, he's surprised that he made it to the age of 39, out of all the stuff that he did. So in the midst of this examination, you have Villa, who came in, and she was just pretty much wanting to know if they found anything, and yeah, she pretty much, she just wanted to know, was this a natural death or no? And then pretty much Rosewood was saying that the heart gave out due to years of drug abuse, and then TMI, aka Tara, was saying that she found different things in his body, and then Pippi found like some camp horror or camp, they both found different chemicals in his body that sort of insinuate that he didn't really die of a natural death, that he more so died because somebody pretty much killed him. They were pumping him with all types of chemicals and all types of stuff that he was exposed to, and pretty much it doesn't really look like a natural death, so this could possibly be a murder on their hands. So of course you already know they need to solve the case. So you have Villa and Rosewood at the precinct, and they are pretty much talking about how Steve had saw an acupuncturist last week, and oh shit, damn it, I'm in the middle of a review. Fuck. Hold on. Anyway, so yeah, they were pretty much talking about how you went to see an acupuncturist. Oh no, never mind. She's not Rosewood. Villa is talking to Captain Hornstock about how Steve went to go see an acupuncturist last week, and how yeah, he went to go see an acupuncturist. Damn, I'm sorry y'all. This shea butter is kind of irritating my face a little bit. Not like in a bad sense, but damn. Fuck. Anyway, she was letting him know how he went to go see an acupuncturist and all this other stuff. And, of course, Hornstock, he is really not trying to hear this shit. So they walk into Hornstock's office, and who do they see? Donna. And she's just like, you know what? I am here to find out who defaced my son's billboard. And, I just pretty much need some help. And, of course, Villa introduced herself. And she was like, oh, I know you. You're the officer that teams up with my son. And, y'all solve murders and all that stuff. And then, of course, Hornstock was trying to dismiss Donna real quick. And she was just like, listen, my son helps you all put away murderers. So don't forget that. So I want to know who did this vandalism to his post, to one of his billboards. And that is that. And of course, Hornstock was not trying to hear that. He was like, you know what? There is a desk officer in the front that you can file these type of complaints to, because I don't want to hear it. I said what I said. That's the type of attitude that he was given throughout this episode. So anyway, you have Rosewood, who is, I believe, he's getting his toes done or some shit. Anyway, he's he's like at an acupuncture place himself. He's getting like his feet massaged or some shit like that. Villa comes in and she's just like, we need to team up. We need to do what we got to do, because I want to get this case solved, because I do not believe that he died of natural causes. That he didn't die of natural causes. So, we need to do something. So, pretty much, yeah, just, so they find this doctor who is running a marathon. He's not an athlete, but he's a runner. And they go to the spot where he's going to run the marathon at. And he pulls up in a bike, and they pretty much are talking to him. Now, this doctor and Rosewood, they really do not like each other, because I think that, the guy's name is Dr. Foster. And he really does not like Rosewood for some reason. I guess because, I don't know, I don't know. It's just, I'm trying to see. Why don't they like each other again? That's why I'm, like, looking over, because I got the episode playing. So, hold on. Oh, and also, basically, Dr. Foster, he was Steve's doctor. He was the acupuncturist that he went to go see the week before he died. So, they're trying to see if he could have possibly had something to do with this, this natural causes death, when we know in actuality it wasn't no damn natural causes. So, anyway, hold on. Oh, nothing like a good old fresh, not glass, well, cup, because it's not glass, but a good old cup of water. Anyway, I'm in the middle of recording. Anyway, so yeah, pretty much, trying to see. Yeah, pretty much the doctor just really does not like Rosewood. He considers him more of just like an undertaker, and he's just like, oh, doctor-patient privileges, and I don't have to explain nothing to you, and, I really don't appreciate you being all up in my business, and it is what it is, and I don't really have anything to say to any of you, and it is what it is, and he runs off. And so it's just like, you know what, yeah, motherfucker, you a liar. But anyway, they pretty much cracked the case or whatever. Now, in the midst of this, in this episode, which was very funny, this was a bit of a side story. Basically, they had ended up finding out that Rosewood could possibly have a son out there, and so they visit, him and Kat, which was, Lord, it was so damn hilarious. Him and Kat went to go talk to one of his exes, because they thought that, she might be, the bearer of one of his children, and they thought that this young man who defaced Rosewood's billboard was possibly his son, who was raised by one of his exes, who would be a single mother. And I guess once he found out who his father was, I guess in order to get his father's attention, he defaced his billboard. It was really bizarre, but it was funny as hell at the same time. So, when they went to go see this one, the first woman, it was just like, her and Rosewood shared that they locked eyes, like, damn, I ain't seen you in such a long time. What's good? And then Kat is just standing there like, motherfucker, like, oh, hey, I'm Kat Crawford, by the way. I'm a doctor too. I'm in the medical field. I have a practice. I'm a psychologist. Just shaking her hand and just basically letting it be known that I'm the one that's with this motherfucker now. So all this psychedelics, telepathic love, eye connection type shit, not on my watch. So they ended up finding out that unfortunately the woman does not have any children, but however she froze her eggs a while ago, and yeah, she froze her eggs a while ago, and she does not have children, and I believe that she's also married. So that pretty much put a dent in that one. So they went over, later it was Rosewood and Villa who met this. They went to go speak to another one of Rosewood's exes, and she is a painter, and she has two or three girls, and no sons, and she is happily married. So I think she was the only one that was married, because it was only two of Rosewood exes. So she was the one who was happily married, and I think the other one who has her eggs frozen, she's not married at all, because she's also in the medical field, and she's like very busy, and I think she's like an entrepreneur, and just like, in other words, she's so damn busy that she really does not have time to sit down, settle down, and have a family. So that'll be in the future, when she can, but because she got so much shit going on, and she's at the height of the prime of her career, it's very hectic. So also in this episode, we saw that Rosewood was, of course, examining himself, and he was trying to basically, again, he was just trying to take care of himself, because he feels like he doesn't need a second opinion, because he's a doctor himself, and so he's like, you know what, I can take care of myself, it is what it is. So of course, there's still that whole thing where it's like, he really feels like he doesn't need a second opinion. He doesn't need any other options. He is the end all and the be all when it comes to his life. And also, him and Donna had a one-on-one moment where he was just like, you know what, just face it, I'm gonna die, it is what it is. And then Donna was like, you know what, you're right, you are gonna die, and so am I, and so is everybody else. But she basically, this was back when they thought that he had a kid out there. She was like, but you will not rob a child of having you in their life as their father. So basically, she was just like, get your shit together. So so pretty much, because the way that they found out about this alleged son, was through, I think, a piece of mail that Rosewood had got. I don't know if he did a DNA test on himself, or if somebody sent this DNA test to him. So in this episode, they touched on the fact that he may possibly have a child out there, but I don't know if they're going to continue on with this story, because clearly Rosewood had more than one ex, so more than two exes. So maybe we might find out that he does have a son out there who was raised by one of his exes, who would be a single mother. And once he found out who his father was, he is basically he's indirectly trying to get his father. What the fuck is that? Anyway, he's indirectly trying to get his father's attention. So, it's just, I feel like if they do go on with that story, that'll be a very interesting story. Also, we have Kat and Villa having another session as usual, and they're pretty much just pretty much talking, and of course, she mentions her husband used to do something that would like make her. It was like he used to like put a bunch of candy in like a jar, and he would never eat like the green jelly beans or green Skittles or whatever. So she always remembered. She remembered that little thing about her husband, because Dr. Cat had a jar of like candy or jelly beans or whatever on her desk, well, on the table, and so like Villa just kept staring at it, and it just brought her back to her son. So anyway, of course they're talking, and let me see. Spending enough time around people, questions get asked. I end up talking about things I don't want to talk about. That's it. Yeah, pretty much, with Villa and Kat, she still is very guarded when it comes towards the doctor. But all in all, she really does need Kat in her life, because she feels like she's her only friend, really, because she really feels alone. Like, ever since her husband died, she really, really feels alone. And so, yeah, she just really feels alone, and she just, she's guarded, but you can tell that she's slowly but surely letting her guard and letting those walls down, and she's just like, hey, I just forgive me. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, when they keep going on and on about back to the case, when they keep going on and on about the case, of course they are pretty much metaphorically on. They have their boot on Dr. Foster's neck, and so what they end up doing is dividing a plan where Rosewood ends up going to him for some help with his own health issues, and he pretty much I guess the doctor, he saw right through that, and so what the doctor ended up doing was basically he tried to poison Rosewood, and he confessed to how he poisoned Steve and another patient, I guess some months back or whatever. So he was just like, oh yeah, I injected you with nitrogen. He injected him with some shit, and he was basically trying to kill him. Little did Dr. Foster know that Detective Villa and the other officers were on the other side of the door the whole time, so they heard everything. So they busted in, they arrested him. Rosewood, he was like, because the poison, the shit was starting to kick in, and it almost could have took him out. So he told Villa where to go. He told her down the hall in some cabinet somewhere. Listen, there's a lot of medical terms, and I am not no damn I am not an aspiring doctor, and I am damn sure I'm not no chemistry student. So anyway, yeah. So he told her what to get in order for them to get rid of the poison that was in his body. And they did just that, and they pretty much saved the day. So in this episode, not too much happened, but it was still a good episode. But also on a better note, not so much. Well, it's a better note, but I really meant to say good. I'm just all over the place. Y'all know how I get when I review this show and Minority Report. I really get excited. So anyway, on a good note though, hold on. Oh shit. Anyway, so like I was saying, on a good note, Rosewood has been given an order for a full season. So I am really glad that the ratings are picking up slowly but surely. I'm really glad that the ratings are picking up and that they got a full season order. Again, you all support the show as much as you can. It is a really good show. You have to really get into it, and you just have to really pay attention. See, that's the thing nowadays when it comes to a lot of different TV shows, scripted television shows. You really have to challenge the audience's mind, just like an author does with a reader. You really have to, if you like challenges and you like a show that makes you have to think and think about stuff that you've never thought before, because this show deals with the medical field, which is something that in the black community we really should get more into. Having more black doctors, pathologists, heart surgeons, neurosurgeons, pediatricians, all that good stuff. This show is a really good show, and I feel like for any of you all who do watch me, who are aspiring doctors, nurses, nursing assistants, if whatever you want to do in the medical field, I feel like this show would really be good for you, especially if you want to work with the law enforcement, which is what Rosewood's character does. So yeah, I really hold on. Hey. Anyway, so yeah, I really do feel that this is a good show. I love it. I'm reviewing every episode that I can, so it's like this show is really good. I like it. To me, Morris Chestnut, this is a very good role for him because we're seeing him in a different light. Sure, he does still have the playboy type of essence to his character, but overall this is a different character than the usual that we've seen him play. So I really do like it. I feel like it's a really good show. I mean, it's a African American and a Latina partner duo team up, so which is really good for African Americans and Latinos for us to see this type of thing on TV. So I really do like the show, and hey, I mean, support the show. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's support the scripted shows and let's get rid of the reality shows. You know what I'm saying? So yes, I support this show and I love it, and I'm glad that they got picked up for a full season order, and I wish Rosewood the best. I'm hoping for season 2, season 3. Let's keep this show going. So I will see you all later, and that is my review for Rosewood. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Bye. Hey.